So Lexie Hull obviously is a player for the Indiana Fever, and she is somebody that is, no question about it, one of the most popular players in the entirety of the WNBA. She is somebody that a lot of people are fans of, and a lot of people, well, she's definitely one of the bigger names in the entire league. And today we're going to be talking about what Lexie Hull has said. That is absolutely a fact. And she is talking about the CBA. She was at some event for the magazine that she was in. I don't exactly remember. But this is what she said.
You may have
And also shout out to this whole TikTok for posting this.
heard, but we are in a bit of a negotiation right now. We fight our rivals hard on the court, but now we're fighting for fair pay, safer play, and better resources for every player in the WNBA. Tonight, we want to thank the fans who are standing with us as we make the WNBA the best league in the world. You may have heard, but we are in a bit of a negotiation right
So you can see, even as she says here,
and better resources for art, but now we're fighting for fair pay, safer play.
Safer play. So it seems the part of the CBA negotiations with the WNBA is to do with the referees. It genuinely seems like the referees are in fact a factor. They're a factor in the CBA, which is a good thing. Which is genuinely a good thing, because the referees absolutely are keeping the players unsafe. They are making, they're massively increasing injuries. Again, Alyssa Thomas, I don't think Alyssa Thomas meant to injure Nafisa Collier. And I don't necessarily think that the play that she made, was it a foul? I don't know. But the reckless play from Alyssa Thomas for the entire year, for years, it's been led away with the refs, is the reason why. Even if she is getting clean steals, she makes defensive and offensive plays with zero regard for her opponent's safety. And it's on the referees to make sure that stops. And it's not even on the referees in that specific scenario. It's on the referees for years to get that sorted, because that one play was just summed up everything. The fact that Alyssa Thomas went at her with that aggression, because look, if the referees are going to be quick to calling fouls, and you know that that's going to happen, you're not going to attack the ball with that level of aggression and put your entire body through it. Because she absolutely did get the ball, but she then played through the knee. And I'm like, you're looking at players. Look, I think Caitlin Clark's been beat up enough. I think the only reason you could blame the referees is if it turned out that early on in the year, Caitlin Clark, in game 2, Caitlin Clark shot a three-pointer. And she shot a three, and I think Maya Caldwell just plowed through her quad. If it turned out that that is what got her injured, then absolutely the referees, and everything stemmed from that injury. Let's just say maybe she was healthy in the year and it was an impact injury that caused a quad strain. Then absolutely the referees had an impact on Caitlin Clark. And the fact that her brother tweeted out being like, this one's on the referees, means that I have a feeling that at least one of the previous injuries that Caitlin had was due to the referees. That would just be my assumption based on the way her brother was tweeting. And even her brother, into the All-Star break, her brother was at that big party when, remember all the players were at the big party and the Studs Buds were streaming it. He goes on a stream and is fix the referees. That's literally what he says. He just goes, fix the referees. But yeah, it's an interesting one to see how important this is for the players, because I do think that this is important. I genuinely do. I do think that the safety of the players is unbelievably important. I think everyone will be in agreement with that. That the safety of players in the WNBA is should be one of the biggest priorities and is one of the most important things. And it's at least a positive thing because we're looking at it and we're like, okay, cool. Look, the safety is important and the players are looking at it now. It's much better than it was a year ago where people are like, oh, the league's just tough. But then all of a sudden, Caitlin Clark bulks up and she's no longer getting bullied anymore. And now it's a problem for everyone else because it was so much of people out there saying that, new fans just don't understand this tough league. And then a year later, all the stars are injured and it's a problem. And yes, we can talk about all the hypocrisy and all of that. And I've talked about all the hypocrisy from players, from coaches, from league media, all of this, former players. And look, there's a reason why, in terms of the WNBA landscape, someone like myself has like absolutely benefited from that. Like, if the WNBA media was competent, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in right now. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, if the WNBA media was competent, you wouldn't be looking as much at fan channels if the media was in any way competent. So thank you everyone in the WNBA media for being completely incompetent. You guys have revived my YouTube career. But look, it's one of those things. They have to improve. They have to genuinely improve all of this. But yeah, it's a really, really interesting thing to see. And I mean, they're absolutely in the right. Absolutely, players are in the right to search for safer conditions. And I feel like a lot of people out there that are saying, oh, the players, it's just a physical league. Like, it's ruined the league. It's legitimately ruined the league. Like, it's not... There's a difference between physical play, which is like NBA playoffs play, which is like what we see most of the time in international competitions, versus rugby on a basketball court, versus we're going to Captain Insano Caitlin Clark in the eye and not even call a foul. And we're going to, like, a flagrant... It was called a flagrant one. I kid you not, when Bria Hartley yanked Angel Reese down by her hair. It was a flagrant one when Dejanay Carrington... Was it even called as a flagrant one? When Dejanay Carrington yanked Sarah Ashley Barker down by her hair. And how many times Dejanay Carrington volleyball spiked people in the face? Like, and then she was like, oh yeah, these flagrants, they're getting overturned. And I'm like, what do you mean they're getting overturned? She's volleyball spiking people in the face. And like, there was one of them she wound up and she missed. But she missed someone's face by about, like, she grazed someone's face. And they're like, oh yeah, that one was... They're like, oh, that could get overturned. It's like... She literally wound up to hit someone in the face and grazed them. She just about missed someone's face, went nowhere near the ball. It's ridiculous. All of the stuff in this league is absolutely ridiculous. And I do think the referees and the league doing a better job stops all of this. If they put a stop to it early, you don't see that level of people attempting that level of physicality because they know it's going to be called as fouls. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys.